I've opened up my heart. I'm at the start. I save the world. I save the world.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Special shout out now to the people who are watching this as a recorded video. We post all of my talks on 3 different platforms. They are on YouTube, they are on BitChute, and they are on Rumble. So please subscribe to whatever channel you are watching this on. And also hit the like button. The more likes that these videos get, the more that platform decides to share them. And so that's a really great thing. And leave a comment. If you're subscribed to the platform, it enables you to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your comments. Just a little share that you may have after you have listened to the talk. And I try to reply to as many of those as I can. So happy February, everybody. February 1st. February, the month of love, the Valentine's month. Or as I like to say, February, another new month of healing. We're here to heal the Holy Child of God, which of course includes ourselves and includes the whole world. So a loving month to heal in. The big news I want to report, of course, is that we have moved the Community Miracle Center. We've moved the center. We're in a new space. And I am so happy to be here. I mean, aside from the tech challenges of setting up all the networks, it's really awesome. It's a 4-room suite. I have named the different rooms. We have a reception room, a bookstore room, a meeting room, and an office room. I'm in the office room right now. I would say this is the most professional space we have had in the 39 years of our history. And that really feels great to me. And our birthday is coming up. On March 1st, we will be 39 years old. We had our first meeting, an in-person meeting on March 1st, 1987. So that was 39 years ago. So I've been talking about life being a dream lately. I'm going to talk about that today. So yeah, this is a very interesting dream that we've been having, that I've been having for the last 39 years. I got to say that it has never been boring. I don't know what boring means, actually. This dream has never been boring. So I'm very happy to be here. Yesterday was January 31st, and that means that we did lesson number 31. We're part of doing the lessons in the yearly sequence. A lot of Course in Miracles students do the lessons in that manner. And I like always to remember that not only am I doing the lesson when I am doing the lesson of the day, but I am joining up with all of those A Course in Miracles students everywhere who are doing the same lesson. And as I said, when we were doing the meditation, thoughts increase by being given away. The more who believe in them, the stronger they become. So I do believe that when you do the lessons in the yearly sequence, you connect with all those other A Course in Miracles students, and there is great power and great strength and great healing in doing the lessons in that sequence. So I always encourage people to do that. And yesterday, the 31st of January, I believe the lesson is one of those foundational tenets in A Course in Miracles, and it is the one that is, I am not a victim of the world I see. In some books, it's I am not the victim of the world I see, but I'm not a victim of the world I see. And I remember that. Of course, it's the final lesson in January. That just puts a little icing on the cake. But I've always connected to that lesson, and I connected to it and registered it the very first time I did it. And I knew it was true, even if I couldn't realize it totally for myself all the time. But I knew it was true. And the fact that I knew it was true was a good thing. I was going in the right direction. That lesson establishes in our consciousness, hopefully, that we're not the effect of the world. We are not the way we are because somehow the world made us that way. Actually, the opposite is true. The world is our effect, and we are the world's cause. Today's lesson furthers that, which is, I have invented the world I see. And in today's lesson, we hear this. It says, I've invented the world I see. You are not the victim of the world you see because you invented it. You can give it up as easily as you made it up. So, this idea, if you've been studying A Course in Miracles for a while, you know this idea permeates all of A Course in Miracles. It is all over the place. Another place says, it is as needful that you recognize you made the world you see as that you recognize that you did not create yourself. They are the same mistake. I puzzled over that one for a while, and then I really got some guidance about that. It's necessary for us to understand that we are manifesting the world that we see, and it's as important to understand that as it is for us to understand that God created us. And they actually says it's the same mistake. The fact that we don't understand that, it's the same mistake. Though, in other words, we'll never understand that God actually created us until we understand that we're making the world. And why is that? Because it's a cause and effect mistake. We don't understand cause. We don't understand effect. We don't understand that the world is our effect and that we're causing it. And that's a cause and effect error. So we don't understand that we're God's effect, that God is causing us. So if we really want to know ourselves as created by the eternal and infinite divine, then we have to clear up cause and effect everywhere. And one of the places that we can clear it up, a good place to start, is understanding that we're causing the world. The Course says, place cause and effect in their true sequence in one respect, and the learning will generalize and transform the world. The transfer value of one true idea has no end nor limit. The final outcome of this lesson is the remembrance of God. So we need to get cause and effect straight everywhere that it manifests. And we're here in this world, at least we believe that we're here in this world. And if we can get, in little glimpses perhaps, that we are causing the world that we think we see and experience out there, then we will get that we have been caused by the infinite, immortal, eternal, all-powerful presence of the divine, and we will know ourselves as the infinite, eternal being that we are. And it all happens together. Jesus in A Course in Miracles tells us over and over that the world is a dream. The world's a dream. You know, many Eastern disciplines say something similar. They will talk about the world being an illusion, or they call the world the Maya. But A Course in Miracles stresses the dream idea. It's not totally unique to A Course in Miracles. Other disciplines do say it, but I think A Course in Miracles' focus on it is what's really unique. And how does a dream differ from an illusion? Well, aren't they the same thing? Well, the implication is when it's a dream that there must be a dreamer. You could say things are an illusion without necessarily going to the cause of it. But when you say something is a dream, then that implies a dreamer. And we all know who A Course in Miracles says the dreamer is. It's us. We are the who that is dreaming the world. A Course in Miracles says this. This is in the reading that Reverend Diane read. It says, rest in the Holy Spirit and allow his gentle dreams to take the place of those you dreamed in terror and in fear of death. So when we don't really understand that we're the dreamer, our dreams are terrifying. and they have terrible images in them and scary images in them. They're actually nightmares. So we are the ones dreaming those nightmares, though. And the first step in changing those nightmares and shifting those nightmares is remembering that we're the dreamer. This was also in the reading that Reverend Diane read. It says, "You are the dreamer of the world of dreams, no other cause it has, nor ever will." So we are definitely the dreamer of this world. And of course, it's hard to realize, hard to connect with emotionally and in a feeling sense. But the start of it, I think, is just to connect to it intellectually, to at least just understand what the words are saying. And then to ask Holy Spirit for a little help in perceiving that it's true. And as Jesus in A Course in Miracles says, this help will come to us just in little bits. It won't be like a sudden realization, or it probably won't be the sudden realization that's all coming from us, but we'll get little glimpses of it, little glimpses of that realization that it is coming from us. And when we do that, then we become awake in the dream, as it says. So that's what A Course in Miracles is actually doing. It is teaching us how to be awake in the dream that is the world. Now, in psychological terms, this is what is probably called lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is when in a dream that we would usually have at night, of course, and in that dream, you become aware that you are dreaming. I did a little search using an AI program. I always like to say when I've used an AI program, to just to qualify it. So this was in the Brave AI platform. It said this: lucid dreaming is the experience of becoming aware that you are dreaming while still inside the dream. The state allows for varying levels of control over the dream's narrative, environment, or characters. So that's what lucid dreaming is. When we have a lucid dream, we become aware that we are dreaming within the dream. And I worked with that for a number of years, many years ago. There were techniques that you could use to help you have a lucid dream. One was to really give yourself the suggestion while you were awake, of course, that you were going to wake up in your dream and that you would do something that you had remembered to do. And the thing that I always heard was tell yourself to look at your hands. Tell yourself in your dream to look at your hands. So you just think about that often, and then when you're in your dream, see if you can remember to hold your hands up and look at them. And I was successful at that. It was a very weird and eerie experience. And after I looked at my hands, it just got really a little scary, actually. I don't really remember what happened after that, but I think I woke up. But I did have some success with the lucid dreaming exercises, but I wasn't guided to continue them. Um, and it just wasn't my guidance to really continue them. They were challenging and difficult, and I guess I just wanted to sleep instead of really work at that. But um, that's what A Course in Miracles, though, is teaching us to do here in the world, to accept that the world is indeed a dream that we're dreaming, and to look at our hands maybe in it and wake ourselves up a little bit and remember that we are indeed the dreamer. So once you've really identified that the world is a dream, you can really apply the same lucid dreaming techniques and things that we do to this world. So they're going to be applied to the so-called waking experience of life. There really is no waking experience of life. Course in Miracles says all your time is spent in dreaming. Your sleeping and your waking dreams have different forms. That is all. Their content is the same. So again, one of the foundational tenets in A Course in Miracles is that this is all a dream that we are dreaming, and it isn't actually any different than the dreams that we may have at night. Our waking and our sleeping dreams have different forms. They are actually the same. So dedicate yourself. Dedicate yourself to having lucid, happy dreams of healing while you're here, seemingly in this world. The Holy Spirit is here to help us do just that. And it starts by embracing the idea that we actually are dreaming the world that we appear to find ourselves in. So, whenever I talk about the whole dream thing, or I think about it myself, I think about that famous little nursery rhyme, little ditty that we all know, which is row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You know, you think about that little song. It's a pretty amazing song. There's a whole lot of enlightenment in that little song. And when it says life is but a dream, the but really means only in that usage, and only is a actual definition for the word but. It depends on how it's used. So, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. Life is only a dream, and when it's only a dream, just be gentle with it. You know, live your life, row your boat gently, and be merry. Merrily is repeated 4 times. Merrily, 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 merrily. That's a whole lot of merrily. That's a whole lot of merry. Let's talk about merry for a little bit. Merry has a different connotation than happy. People usually think of merry and they think of happy. But merry implies a certain amount of liveliness or activity that happy doesn't necessarily connote. Happy doesn't have that energy. Merry, the definition of merry is cheerful and lively, characterized by festivity and rejoicing. So happy doesn't necessarily have that energy. I can be happy and be pretty quiet about it, but you wouldn't be quiet if you're merry. Merry implies a certain amount of loud celebration, let's say. And I think it's interesting. In the United States, we generally say Merry Christmas, which implies a lot of lively, active celebration. But in other countries that speak English, like the UK and Australia, they don't say Merry Christmas as much as they say Happy Christmas. And as I said, happy doesn't have that lively, active connotation that merry has. So, do you want to think about the difference between the United States and other English-speaking countries like the UK, the United Kingdom, or Australia? We're merry, and they're only happy. So I embrace being merry. I like being merry. I like the connotation that merry has, and I like that little nursery rhyme, that little ditty, has merrily, 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 merrily in it. I'm reminded of the quote from A Course in Miracles. I quote this one a lot. It says, "Why are you not rejoicing? You are free of pain and sickness, misery and loss, and all the effects of hatred and attack." So basically that's saying, why aren't you being merry? It doesn't just say, why aren't you being happy or why aren't you being joyful? Is why aren't you really being active and lively and celebrating and rejoicing? And I try to embrace as much of that as I can, actually. Be, uh, be merry. Be gentle in that dream of life. Life is only a dream. And that's a great little nursery rhyme to think about. I did a search this morning because I was kind of curious. Like, where does that song come from? So the origin of row, row, row your boat. I was surprised, actually, that it did not date back to antiquity. I had some idea that it probably went back hundreds of years, probably originated in England or Great Britain or something, but actually it doesn't. Yeah, it's definitely an American thing, just like A Course in Miracles came from America. It was first published in 1952. I'm sorry, not 1852, 1852. And it's like 170 some years ago. And when it was first published as a song, it had the same lyrics, but it had an entirely different melody, an entirely different tune. And it wasn't until almost 30 years later, 1881, that it had evolved the same melody and it was published with the same melody and the same lyrics that we're familiar with today. The other thing about Row, Row, Row Your Boat is that it's frequently sung as a four-part round. Where someone starts singing, and then before they go to right when they go to the next line, then somebody else starts singing from the beginning, and before then they go to the next line, somebody else, and there's like four parts kind of singing this all around at the same time. And if you really want to class it up, you get four different voices. You get a soprano and an alto and a tenor and a bass singing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." And if you've ever heard that done, or even if you do it without the different soprano, alto, tenor, bass, but if you just do it with a number of different people, it has a very kind of dizzying, interwoven harmony thing. I think it effectively short circuits the surface chatter of your mind. Which is another very interesting thing about Row, Row, Row Your Boat. It's implanting a very important message about life and our relationship to it, that it's a dream and that it's only a dream and that we're to be merry about it and we're to be gentle about it. And it does that while it's also silencing the ego chatter of your mind. And you can think about how really unique that little nursery rhyme is and how much enlightenment actually is in that nursery rhyme. I bet that nursery rhyme has probably brought countless millions of children and adults peace and happiness and really merriment, really active, lively happiness. I've also really, have an affinity for Row, Row, Row Your Boat because it was featured as a joke in one of the Star Trek films. In Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, 1986. I think it's, I had to look this up. I had it a little wrong from memory. It's like Kirk and Spock and McCoy, I believe, are vacationing on Earth and they're camping, I think, in Yosemite. And for some reason, Mr. Spock hears "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," and he's concerned and he's questions it. It's puzzling him, and he asks Captain Kirk that he doesn't understand the song, because he says life is not a dream. So Mr. Spock, for all the so-called logical enlightenment that he seemed to have, was really just rooted in his logic. Couldn't make that jump, at least not in that moment, to something a little more divine, a little more cosmic. I got to watch that movie again to sort of put that in context. Life is definitely a dream. And that little ditty put that idea in all of our consciousness when we were just kids. So it's there. The chorus says, dream softly of your sinless brother who unites with you in holy innocence. So, sorry, Mr. Spock, but life is indeed a dream. And we indeed are the dreamer. And we can be gentle about that as we go through life. And we can be merry about it and celebrate it. So let's just dedicate ourselves for the next week to have a merry, lucid dream of healing here in this life. Okay, that's my thought for today. Thank you very much.
Open my eyes to see. Woke up my head to beat. Woke up my heart to be free. Woke up my world You and me, I've opened up my heart. I'm at the start. I save the world. I save the world. I save the world. I save